V guru herself, Miss, as Miss or Mrs. Kekana?
Miss.
Miss Kekana, yes, Miss Kekana, Tshego Kekana. She is a beautiful soul, ladies and gentlemen. This woman is a trailblazer. I know her from Lioness, is it? Lioness of Africa. I know her from Tuma Foundation, and she owns a beautiful, beautiful company. Like, I just like the logo of that company. Maybe I should have brought it here, but I'm not sharing the screen. But she owns Alpha Digital Communications, right?
Alpha Destiny.
Alpha Destiny.
Yes.
Sorry, Alpha Destiny Communications. Ms. Tshego Kekana, please welcome to our masterclass. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Veronica. I am blessed and I'm honored to be part of this session, and I hope that I can give great input to the guests today.
All right. Today with you, I would like us to focus more on a brand element of businesses, because you are a communicator. You've been in the space for quite some time. You have made a very beautiful track record and a brand for yourself as well. So I'm going to start off by just asking, what makes a brand? What makes a brand?
Oh, that's a good question. So what makes a brand is, it's not just the logo. The logo is the visual identity of the brand. So what makes the brand is what the brand stands for. What is the brand's value? What is the brand's equity if the brand is a brand that's been existing for a while? And what's the brand's reputation? So what people think about your brand is what makes your brand. What people see when they see your brand, how they feel, how they connect with your brand, that is what makes your brand. So if I will make an example and say, my apologies, I'm getting a call and I'm in session. If I will make an example about Apple, Apple Watch, Apple products, I would say the Apple brand is the type of brand that you can connect with. You know, when people buy Apple, not because it looks good or feels good, but people buy Apple because of what it entails, because of how it actually aligns their life, how the product aligns everything within their life, how things are synced, you know, and how it operates as a brand and as a product. So what makes a brand is what the brand stands for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes the brand is what the brand stands for. All right. In terms of communication, how do you communicate your brand to the people? What is the most effective way to communicate your brand to the people? And how do you also identify your brand with the people?
Okay, so how you communicate your brand with the people, to people, starts with identifying and knowing who your audience is. So you would need to do the job as to who am I catering to, who are the people that are buying my products. If it's a product-led business, if it's a service-led business, who are you rendering your services to? So the first thing would be understand who your target audience is. The second thing would be, where are they based? What are they doing? How old they are they male or female? You know, understanding the demographics and the geographics of your customer, of your target audience. And then once you've realized that, once you've analyzed that, then you can formulate different channels, communication channels, to communicate with them. The channels can be media from a PR space. We can communicate to media, and even with media, you strategize your media based on where your audience is. So if your audience are people living in the township, then you would want to speak to them through the media that they consume. So you'd want to speak to them through local media, through the local newspaper, even through to the tuck shop owner on the side of the road, you know, on the corner. your spaza shop owner, you know. So that's why you would see brands like Coca-Cola, for example, branding spaza shops. It's how they're
Yes.
communicating with their target audience on the ground. And you communicate through advertising as well. So you build brand collateral. Advertising on billboards, advertising on TV, advertising on radio, doing wall murals, which are very big in the township space. Whichever, the way you communicate depends on who you're communicating to. So the channels that you choose, which are various channels. Now we have social media. You can communicate through social media. It's easier to access social media. But also what I want to highlight is that even in that communication, please just give me a second. I'm in session. I'm so sorry. So highlighting that even on social media, even if you choose to communicate with the audience via social media, the way you communicate has to be strategized. Don't just, as a brand, don't just post things for the sake of posting things. Understand what you're saying, understand when you are saying it, understand your audience so well that you also understand when they are online. What are the times where they're actively online? Is it between 6 and 9 p.m.? Is it between 6 and 9 in the morning? Those are normally the active times in the day where people are socially active. I mean, active socially on social media.
Yes. All right. No, that is a good information that we just got. Precious, I hope you are taking down the notes for your awards. I hope you are. You must know your target market. What time are they online? What time are they not online? What is it that you need to post when and how? All right. That is very effective information. Thank you very much for that. And as a person that has been in the communication space, did you study communications or you just woke up or communication just hit you? Like, I'm from like the space of occupational health and safety, but I ended up being into PR and events as well. And I ended up into the restaurant space, and I'm like, okay, this is a total different that I've learned, but now the direction of life has taken me into this space. Is it something you studied, or it's just happened to be something that you are passionate about and then you just went along with it?
Yeah. So I started, I'm an entrepreneur by nature, by heart, by mentally, emotionally. So I think every entrepreneur would say that their journey started when you were young, you know. My journey started in high school when I was doing grade 10 and 11. I was organizing events at school, and I would challenge our HOD and our teachers and our principal to say, yeah, but look at, I'm from Pretoria. So I would be like, look at Loreto Convent. They have these Coca-Cola events with this truck and the stage, and we never have events like that. So I went to challenge the school to say, let's organize such events. And they gave me that leeway and opportunity to set up a team and go ahead and organize it. And before, I think a week before the event, we realized, oh my God, we've been planning an event, but we haven't been marketing the event. So people didn't know about it. We didn't sell any tickets because we never marketed it. Then that's when I knew that my passion is in events coordinating. I loved events coordinating. I was passionate about organizing events, and I took the route of, working while I was at school and doing events for TUT and so forth while I was young. After I matriculated and I needed to make a decision as to what I'm going to study, I knew that I wanted to study a course that has events in it. I thought maybe I should study events, but I knew events is just one entity. I'm a very ambitious person. I'm very ideas driven. So I get ideas every single day. So I wanted a course that can have events in it, but also defined who I was. And public relations was that course. I read the prospectus and I was like, this is me. This is me. This is who I am, and I studied PR through Varsity College, and then I studied it, and then I went about a year ago. I did two courses with the UCT. So I didn't stumble. I wouldn't say I didn't stumble upon it. I would say that I found the course and it was suitable for me, suitable for the person that I am, and I've never looked back. 11 years later, I'm so happy with the choice that I made.
Fantastic, fantastic. So in this time of COVID, how has your business been affected, and what are the struggles that you've been having in your business due to COVID, and how did you manage to challenge yourself to get out of those problems or challenges you may be facing?
Yeah. COVID has affected all of us, I'm sure. And, no one is different. I think we've all been affected by COVID. How it affected me was 2020 was actually not a bad year for us business-wise, because I was working full-time and I resigned in January. Well, I resigned in February, sorry. And I served 2 months notice, and 2 months notice because of the position that I held when I was working full time. Not knowing, obviously, that even when you are serving notice, then lockdown is going to hit, COVID is going to happen, and everything just went down. So I will be transparent and make the example that by the time I submitted my resignation, I was running my business on the side for 4 years. I started out with Destiny in 2016, and I was running it on the side while working a full 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
By the time I resigned, my business started becoming more demanding towards the end of 2019. And it was time. By January, it was time for me to just focus on this business full time and just focus on being an entrepreneur, which is a dream I've always had. By the time I resigned, by the time I submitted my resignation, the business was making an income of 50,000 rands a month. A revenue of 50,000 rand a month, which was good enough for me to quit and focus on the business, because I was running it on my own. And then I had an intern that came in, and I mean, 50K was not bad as a start, it wasn't bad as a start. So I knew that, and it was also more than what I was earning at work. So I figured, what, let me just, if I can give my full attention to this business, to this baby, imagine how much money I can make, So then I resigned, then I focused on my business, and it was May, and COVID hit, and I think, May, that's when we started losing all of the clients that we had, and we're left with one. So we went from revenue of 50,000 to 10,000 rands. By that time, I had 2 interns. I had to let them both go. I took decisions to actually rework the business. So I took decisions to, give away, sell my bed in my 2nd bedroom, and have an office there. Set up an office there, set up shop there, raise some capital with the money that I still had, and buy a proper laptop so that I don't have issues, get proper internet connectivity so that I don't have to struggle. At least, to the very least, let me have resources that can help me with running my business, even though at that point we only had 10K that was coming in. I'm not going to mention rent, having to pay school fees, having to survive, you know, and all of that. And you only have one income that's coming in, which is barely enough. The thought of moving back home crossed my mind. The thought of going back to work full-time crossed my mind. And I think what made it worse was, you know, I kept pushing. In the back of my head. I kept telling myself, you know what, I'm doing this for a reason. There's a reason why I'm doing this. And there's a reason why I'm now, you know, fully into the entrepreneurial journey 10 years later, you know, from working in corporate for 10 years. It's my time. I felt like it is the time. The time is now. God knows why now. Only God knows why now. And then by God's grace, by July, end of July, by June, sometime in June or beginning of June, around that time, we won Kellogg's as a client, Kellogg's South Africa. And and you know, that for me was that thing that said, you see, there's a reason why you're doing this. You know, if you could win
confirmation.
It was confirmation, exactly, because if you can win such a big global organization as a client, there is so much more that you can do, you know. It kept me going. I remember getting the call that we won Kellogg's, and I was just overwhelmed. I was quiet on the phone, and my client kept saying, "Are you still there? Are you still there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. You just don't know what you did, you know." And then the times were, the last 2020 was beautiful but challenging at the same time. We pitched for part of ABSA. There was a project-based contract within ABSA that was more targeted to small entrepreneurs for the ESD, for the Enterprise Supply Development Program. And we pitched for that, and we won it. But the time we won it was the time I lost my best friend, and my best friend passed away. My best friend of 27 years, passed away suddenly. You know, she was never sick. We spoke on Monday. Tuesday, she was found dead in her apartment. And at that time, I remember on the day of her funeral, driving to the cemetery, I got the call from ABSA to say, "You got the account. We've just sent you the contract. It's a 3-year contract. We need you to sign because we need you to start working tomorrow." And what came with ABSA also came with a team. You know, they wanted me to hire 8 people. So with that comes, you need an office because 8 people are not going to work in your 2-bedroom apartment.
Yes. They're gonna crowd you.
Exactly. So it was a tough time for me. And I don't think I was emotionally okay, you know, but I needed to, I guess that's what comes with being an entrepreneur, because sometimes you need to put your personal feelings aside.
That's right, of course.
And keep it going, you know. So that was how COVID was for me, for us as a business. And yeah, we've just been, challenges come, challenges. I've had team challenges as well. Having to, you know, getting the right people is a challenge. Finding the right people that also understand your vision. I found that it's actually a challenge. And I think with the journey, it has been understanding myself as well as a person. And also the mental shift from being an employee to being an employer was a challenge.
Oh, wow. It was a roller coaster. Everybody was like, yeah, we are sinking. Everybody, like, we didn't know which boat to jump into because it was like a Titanic when COVID hit. Like, we had to find a survival mode. People lost their jobs. Like, it was so much. And I'm very sorry for your loss about your friend. We've lost so many good people due to 2019 stress. And I'm thinking people also died from anxiety and depression, and we didn't even know that our people, some people that are very close to us, they are going through something because we are so much apart and we didn't have time to get together or time to check on people. That's why most of the time I just text people. I'm like, I'm just checking. COVID has made us strangers because you think you've been speaking to somebody, and the next thing you just get is like, I just texted these people yesterday, and then now today they are dead. So it's a very painful situation that we had to go through in 2019 and 2020, and we're still going through it even now in 2021. So, but I'm happy that, you know, you managed to stick it out and not go back to work, and then not to give up, and the milestone that you're achieving today, you have testimony about it. And to a person that is out there that is watching and like, I almost gave up, like, look at Tshego continued, and look what came with her perseverance. So bravo to you, my sister. Bravo to you. So in terms of being a leader, because now you're working with a team of 8 people, how has that been for you to happen to have 8 people that you know that you are changing their lives and you're contributing into their lives as well? They're able to look after their families, they're able to do the stuff that they cannot do. How is it being a leader and leading people?
Yo. Woo. Okay. Managing people is it is not a walk in the park. It is not at all. Now we have trimmed down the team, and it's also because of the time that we're in with people. You're working from home and just managing the finances of the business. You know, you kind of get to a point where you need to do what makes sense to the business. Managing people is like being a mother to 5 other people, you know, over and above your own child, right? And what I also learned was that you're not just managing people, you're managing their emotions. You are managing their feelings, you are managing their perception. You have to exactly mentally, emotionally. You are, when they come to work, I remember my one team member came to work. She sent me a message in the morning to say she was with a friend on Sunday, and the friend, you know, took a drive, and he went to drop somebody off, and he was coming back, and all of a sudden they hear that he got into a car accident and crashed and died on the spot.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, but anyways, I'm coming to work. So I was like, but you don't have to come to work, you can stay at home. And she said to me, you know what, actually coming to the office is it's my place of sanity. So I need to come to work so that I can heal better and I can heal faster. You know, so to me, that said, we used to have now in July we're working from home, but before we are on what, level 4? Before level 4, we have what we call how are you sessions every Monday. So every Monday for an hour, 2 hours, we have a team session where I call that session how are you sessions. And how are you sessions are basically a session where we recap on the weekend. How are you as a person? How was your weekend? You know, what's going on in your life? And we have a conversation. We talk about ourselves. We first prioritize us. We prioritize, you know, how I am I happy, am I sad, how was my weekend, you know, how's my personal life, my marriage. But because remember, you are spending we work long hours, so you're spending 8, 9, 10 hours with these people. We end up just knowing about each other personally, you know, so we get to understand that, oh, okay, Noah is dating whoever, oh, Noah's in a relationship, she's not, what happened to the last one. We talk about those things. If a family member is sick, we just discuss how you are, and then we get into the work, So I had to learn how to firstly manage myself, because I also realized that there were certain things that I was doing that my team would do because they see me doing it. So if I come to the office late, they will come, it would be okay for them to come to the office late because I'm doing it, So as a leader, I had to find who I am as a leader. And understanding who I am as a leader, I needed to know that there are certain disciplines that I need to instill for myself, because I have 5 to 8 other people that are looking at me, and they will replicate the things that I'm doing.
Yes. Oh, wow. No. So in terms of the work that you do with Tuma, how has that been? And also with Lioness of Africa, when did you join Tuma, and then when did you join Lioness of Africa?
Okay, so clarity. I started a movement called the Lioness Movement. So it's not Lionesses of Africa. Lioness of Africa is a completely different organization.
I'm mixing the two.
You're mixing
because I always get emails from you for Lioness.
Yeah, it's the Lioness Movement. So my movement is called the Lioness Movement. Can I please get 2 seconds? I've got someone knocking on my door. I'm so sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your questions for Tshego. We are almost to the time that we are going to be taking questions from her. So whatever that you want to ask Tshego, start writing down. I will allow 2 questions per person. Precious, if you could also make a note on Facebook that we are going to be taking some questions, and then scout the questions from us from there as well. And let's ask the whole questions. I'm sure some of us need to know about how to communicate our business. We need to know what to do, and those moments that we want to know, are we making money through the communications we make to other people? Welcome back, Tshego.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. These things happen. I put a bed on the door so that nobody can come in.
Yeah.
That's making sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right. Yes.
What was your question again? Sorry. Oh, the Lioness Movement.
Yes.
So I started the Lioness Movement, which is a women empowerment movement. It is a sisterhood, where it's a support structure. So it's where, as women, we come together to support each other in every aspect of our lives. The whole purpose of the Lioness Movement is for, we all go through a lot as people, but I believe women go through the most, more than anyone. And we go through a lot in the workplace, we go through a lot at home, in our relationships, and so forth. So as women, I felt the need to, let's support each other in terms of different aspects in our lives. And with the movement, that's what we do. So we're a support structure. We're sisters. It's a sisterhood. We've got about 50 women in the WhatsApp group. We've got our social media pages. It's led by events. So pre-COVID, so I'm trying to charge my laptop before it dies. Pre-COVID, we used to have events every year, about 4 times a year. We had one of our events was like a wine session, where as women we come together, we drink our wine, and we talk about our lives. We talk about whatever that's happening in our lives, and we have various discussions about what's happening in my marriage, what's happening with my relationship, what's happening with my job, with my business. And when we discuss, when we have such topics, that's when we get to know each other. And then we have a WhatsApp group, where we support each other on the WhatsApp group. We also have now with COVID, because we're not meeting, we have like wellness and healing sessions that we host every week, so that we can connect and talk. So that's the Lioness Movement. It started in 2017. It's a strong group pride of lionesses that have come together to support each other. Some are going through the most, and we are just there for each other. And then the Tuma Foundation, the Tulima Donzela Foundation, wow, that I stumbled upon. I
It does hit you in the face, like, hey. Okay.
Yes, I attended the Youth Day event in 2017. I attended the Youth Day event. I was invited by a friend who was a member of the Tuma Foundation, Belinda. And I knew Belinda, we used to work together. She invited me, and that day, I knew I love giving back, and I love doing work that serves a certain purpose. And when I realized the work that Prof. Tuli was doing, I wanted to be a part of it, so I signed up to be a part of the Tuma Foundation as an ambassador. And because of my PR work and PR experience, naturally, I brought in that skill set within the organization. And in 2019, yes, December 2019, at our EPIC leadership training, after the leadership training, Prof. Tuli then called me, sat me down, and she said, you know what, I've seen, because the comms that happened, there were things that I just instilled within the organization. I proactively came up with suggestions and ideas on how we can communicate better as an organization. And with that, then she sat me down and she asked me to head up the communications team for Tuma. So that's what I've been doing. And I serve as an EXCO member for the foundation, and we continue doing the good work of bringing social justice and educating people, South Africans, about democracy.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right. So where to now? Where is Tshego headed from now to the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do you see Tshego Kekana, and where do you see Alpha Destiny Communications headed to?
So I love that question because it's coming at the right time. So the vision for Alpha Destiny has always been, it started as a business to service small businesses. And it's becoming a business that services businesses, particularly small businesses across Africa. We're finding ourselves with clients in Zimbabwe, supporting SMMEs in Zimbabwe, supporting SMMEs in Ghana, in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are some of the clients that we have. And the vision is Africa. The vision is to become an integrated brand agency across the continent, Pan-African agency. And with that, we now have, as of this month, we now have an office in Ghana, in East Legon in Accra, in Ghana. We have an address and we have offices in
Wow.
Ghana.
Nice. That is fantastic.
Yes, we have so in Ghana we have partnered with an organization called iConcepts PR, which will soon be registered as part of Alpha Destiny. And in Nigeria, we have a partner in Nigeria, which is Brand Mobile in Nigeria, and we are growing. So we are at a point where we are rebranding. We have re-strategized our brand. from it being just a solely PR brand, but to it being, because our vision started with servicing small businesses, what we realized over the years is that a small business or a medium-sized business, when they come to agencies like Alpha Destiny, they want a one-stop shop. They don't want, they are not like your Standard Bank that will have all other agencies in one room. An SMME would want an Alpha Destiny that can offer, they can give them a website, they can give them a logo, they can give them brand presence, a billboard, and so forth. So we are now an integrated brand agency where we are offering services that are integrated within your brand, services that can help you communicate better with your audience with whatever channel that you use. So we are growing to be an integrated brand agent. We are an integrated brand agency. People just know Alpha Destiny as a PR agency because of how I have built my personal brand.
Yes.
So I've built my personal brand in such a way that people know that I'm the PR guru, so to speak, or I'm the PR expert. So because of that, my business is seen as a PR business, but Alpha Destiny is actually a brand agency. It's an integrated brand agency where we integrate PR, marketing, and multimedia. The other thing that we offer is digital innovation. So we have systems that are able to build chatbots, that are able to build games, gamifying content, which is the future of content. The future of digital content will be gamification. And that is a service that we've instilled within the business. So Alpha Destiny Communications, as of August, the 1st of August, will be rebranded to Alpha Destiny Africa.
Yes, girl, butter black girl magic, black girl magic. Sabenza girl, Sabenza. Yes, that's
So
what we want. That's what we want as young Black Africans, to show the world that we are not limited by where we are, but we also can be visionaries. We also can think beyond our borders. We can think Africa. We can think global. You understand?
Yeah.
We can have more than just Africa. You can have the whole world if you want to. So that is what I am so happy about, that to hear a young Black woman aiming for the Kilimanjaro, aiming maybe Mount Everest someday. So we're looking at those high, those heights, girl. You're aiming high. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Can we please raise your hand if you have a question? Can somebody write your question in the chat room? Question time. Yeah. What happened here? Questions, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have a question for Tshego? Wow, Tshego, they don't have questions for you.
Yeah.
They enjoyed you. They enjoyed you.
I have a question.
Alpha Destiny. Yes. Okay, Emmanuel, you may ask your question. Please unmute yourself. And Njabulo has raised his hand. So it's Emmanuel and Mr. District Director, sorry.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hi, Emmanuel. You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Tomi Ayele from Nigeria.
Yeah,
Hi,
Nigeria.
Yeah. First of all, is Precious not around?
I am around, Emmanuel.
Okay, good. The presenter, sorry, I came in late, and I'm just from the hospital. I heard about Alpha Destiny as a brand with a telecom in Nigeria. Please, can you give, give more light to it. Let me get what you're trying to say.
Okay, we have a partner, an affiliate in Nigeria. We work with Brand Mobile Africa. Brand Mobile is founded by Toby, and what they do is they are a brand mobile company. So they offer gamification and content creation and B2B marketing platforms for companies.
Okay, okay. Then your Alpha Destiny, what are you into?
So we're a brand agency. So we're an integrated brand agency, Manuel. We do public relations, digital marketing, communications, media, and overall brand management. That's what we do.
All right, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
I need to have your contact.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll give you my contacts.
Okay.
If you can just put your email address and contact in the chat room, I think Mr. Emmanuel can copy them from there, and then you guys can talk.
No problem.
Okay, Alette, I introduce somebody, Alette, from Namibia. It's just okay.
All right. Mr. Njabulo's question is, as a business, how do I identify your target market? Once you have identified your target market, how do you then tailor the marketing / communication strategy specific for your target market?
Njabulo, how do you identify your target market? Once you've identified, how do you then tailor? Oh, I did touch on it. Okay. Okay, it's fine. I can answer it again. So how you identify your target market depends on what your business does. So if you are let me try and make an example. Let's say you're a beauty product business, right? And you're selling beauty products, skincare products, for example. Your products are for people who have black skin, so black people. People who suffer from eczema or acne or pigmentation and so forth. So you have to, so your product details will help you identify who your target market is. Then it will mean that your target audience is black people. If your product also caters for, so black people meaning black men and women, because we have skin and we have skin issues. Let's say your product also caters for hair, black hair, then you'll know that even for a man's beard, you can cater for. So then that's when you've identified your target market. Then you say, my target market is black people. Then you take it a step further and you say, okay, fine. How much is my product? And in this target audience, can my target audience afford my product? So then you can identify as to what is the income generation that your target is. So if your product is an expensive product, then you know that your target audience would probably not be, maybe a middle class and upper level class that your target audience would be. Once you've identified that, because you need to sell to them, so you need to identify the price as well, if the price suits your target audience, and who your target audience is and how much they earn. Once you've identified that, then you can identify where are they based, where do they live. And I will always, especially for small businesses, I'll always advise to advertise on social media, not just post, but also boost your posts on social media and have business pages on social media. So don't just advertise on personal pages, but have business pages. What this then helps you, it helps you identify that target audience, because in the back end of your Instagram business page or the back end of your Facebook business page, it shows you who your target audience is. It gives you their age, it gives you if they're male or female, it gives you their demographics, it gives you their geographics, it gives you all that information to help you identify who your target audience is. And you then you can take it also a step further into communicating with the audience, taking in their comments, doing research surveys to help understand what they like about your product, what they don't like about your product, and so forth. And then that helps you build a proper brand going forward.
Well, that is well said. Thank you very much, Tshego. Precious has a question. Precious, please.
Thank you, Vero, for leading us so powerfully. Thank you, Tshego. You're doing amazing work. It's really an honor to have you today. My question is around, I think maybe it can be outside, because I wanted to engage you for the PR for the awards that we are working on. So I wanted just to discuss on the pricing models that you're working on. And then I think the other thing, I've just been to your pages now, the Alpha Destiny pages. I was just following them now. Does numbers of followers mean anything? The likes, can that be converted to leads? Because I think I've been battling with some of the, like sometimes you boost posts on social media. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. So you boost something on LinkedIn, maybe we are just not doing it right, or you boost something on Facebook, and then the outcome is not what you needed. Sometimes you spend so much money just to get likes, but it's not convertible to leads. Even if it's, you've tried to fine tune it and to maybe just segment it, I find myself just failing to grapple with it, especially on Facebook.
Yeah, it is a challenge. The number of followers is one thing, number of engagements is another. So social media works like this. You have to analyze social media for you to do it right. So how you analyze it is, and I'm saying this as not somebody who has fully grasped it, not yet, but what I know is that on social media, you can have a 10,000 followers. And if you post something, only 200 like or comment. So those 200, those are your people, not the 10,000. Because the 200 that like and comment, they are the people who are engaged with your brand. They want to read, they will view, they will listen, they are engaged with your brand. The rest are not. The rest, they just follow you. The rest are those that will scroll through your post. But the ones that are liking and commenting, and posting on their post and reposting, those are your target audience. Those 200, those are the ones that you want to communicate with them. So what you want to do is you go through those likes and you analyze it. Let's say in a week, at the end of the week, go through all of your posts and analyze who, and that's what the social media analytics help you with in the back end. Then you can analyze who are the people that are engaging. Those are the people, then you go back the traditional route. This is what I advise. Once you've known that these are the people that I'm targeting, target them then. Send them personal DMs. Follow them as well. Speak to them directly and personally. Cold call them if you can. And I believe then that is when you can now get your leads. But if you're just going to post and boost and leave it like that, posting and boosting is one thing, but you can't just leave it like that. You have to do the extra additional work in understanding the people who are engaged in your content.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tshego. I know you are a very busy woman. You have a lot of work. So at this point in time, we want to thank you very much for coming.
Sorry, Veronica, I just want to answer, if I can. Roy sent a question and I just want to answer
yes,
the
please.
question that he posed. His question is, what strategy did I use in my business from the time I resigned to the time I got my breakthrough? This is where most entrepreneurs fail or give up. So take us through your journey. So I
didn't see that question on my side. That's why I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Oh, he sent it to you directly.
Oh, did he? So I wouldn't say there was a strategy, right? When I explained my journey, I said it was mostly godly led. I didn't have a set strategy, to be honest. I didn't have money that I had put aside. What I did though was I didn't have like a proper planned to the T strategy, but I was not naive to resign and start. So I started my business years before I resigned. And when I started it while working and earning a salary, I used money from my salary to fund my business. So to register it, to have a website, the website that you guys will see now is the new website, but we've had a website before. To have a domain, register a domain and pay for it every single month, have emails, proper emails, have an intern that worked for the business while I was working a full-time job. I made those investments while I was still working. And when the time came to resign, I already knew from January that I needed to resign. And I only submitted my resignation in Feb, and I knew I needed to submit 2 months notice. So I knew from January that I knew from December, because obviously you make the decision to resign way before you resign. So when I made the decision, what I did then was I put systems in place to ensure that I've paid my bills months in advance. So for example, my daughter's school fees, her school fees, I paid it double. From January, I was paying double. January, February, March, until April, I was paying double. Meaning by the time I left in April, I had already paid my daughter's fees up until October. And then with my rent, I paid my rent up front. So I paid my rent when I got money, when I got a bonus at work, then I paid my rent up front or a month in advance, so I gave myself 3 months of breathing time to build the business and to find my feet. So I gave myself that 3 months by paying my bills in advance, or paying my car in advance ahead of time, so that I don't have to worry about the monthly expenses. My worry was just the business and building the business.
Oh, wow. That's a good tip, because that's the most biggest mistake that every entrepreneur does. They just drop the mic today and then they want to start their business because they had these big hopes they're going to make it. And then when that doesn't happen, they fall into depression and it becomes a very messy journey instead of being a joyful journey. So what I'm getting from that statement is that we need to give ourselves room to breathe. Pay everything in advance. Make sure you have a 3 months to 6 months of working on the business and not having to worry about your rent, your car, your children's school fees. You have to worry about eating and getting the business to make more money so that you can sustain it. So thank you very much, Tshego. Ladies and gentlemen, before we let Tshego go, we are hosting events as the awards, as Precious said. We have nominations open. Precious, if you can just drop the link for nominations into the chat room so that everybody can go through. And if you like Tshego, everybody, and you enjoyed what Tshego has said, you can just nominate her for the Vessels of Virtue Business Awards. I think you deserve to be part of it. I think you deserve an award to your title because you've worked so hard, and then where you are, you definitely deserve to be recognized for your hard work that you're doing. So ladies and gentlemen, the end of July, it will be the closing date for the nominations for the Vessels of Virtue Business Awards. So please make sure you visit, you nominate the people that you love, you nominate the people that you've seen doing great things like Tshego. Please make sure you go and nominate. I'm gonna nominate you, Tshego. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. I'm not going to be a judge, but I have the right to nominate. So I am just going to put it out there. So ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Njabulo wants a waiting room. With who? Mr. Njabulo, what is the waiting room for? Oh, maybe he wants to discuss other things. Okay, we'll just sit there. Zero, let's let you go, my darling. Thank you very much. We really enjoyed. I've learned so much personally from all the good wisdom that you have shared with us. And I'm seeing in the comments from our chat room that people enjoyed your masterclass and they've learned so much, especially the district director, Mr. Jabulo. He is very happy. I've seen him engage quite a lot into the chat room. So thank you very much. You are a star.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you to you, Vero, for this honor. Thank you to everybody that came in today. I actually had I was so down this morning, and this just lifted up my spirits. It reminded me of my why. So thank you so much. Maybe you don't know that sometimes we may feel that we are instilling knowledge and empowering everybody else, but these sessions are also helping us, build and grow and remember our why. So thank you so much to everybody. I have put in my contact details in the chat box. So thank you very much.
Your social media pages, where do people follow you? Your website?
Okay, so personal social media pages, it's Tshego Kekana everywhere, and on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I do have Twitter, I'm just not that active. And Alpha Destiny Communications on all social media platforms. Alpha spelled as ALFA, Destiny Communications on all platforms.
All right, thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you everybody, good night.
Ntate Jabulo Teller, you may stay behind, sir. Precious, don't go.
Sorry?
Do not leave. We are waiting for Mr. Jabulo. Oh, he left.
Because you put that and he left.
I don't, okay. All right, we'll call him.
Okay. I want you to...
Charmaine, please don't go. I want to have a chat with Charmaine.